Alright, hello everyone, it's Pig Puncher, and welcome to a brand new video, and today I want to cover a topic that's kind of, been, going on for a couple days now. Basically, I'm having some drama with another YouTuber who goes by the name of Memeology 101. Now, really quick before I get into this, I just want to apologize if I look a little disheveled. I've been up all night working on stuff for my YouTube channel, setting up this new green screen, so on and so on. I'm probably going to sleep all day today, which is why I'm uploading this video for a few reasons, but one of the reasons why I'm uploading this video, and that's going to be, in order to give you guys some content for today, since I probably won't be streaming. So basically, what happened is, 3 days ago now, I appeared as a guest on the Big Brain podcast on a friend of mine's Twitch channel, and I was asked by another YouTuber named Jake from the channel Hugo and Jake, better known as the Bible Reloaded. I was asked what my opinion is, what I think is the best way to combat the alt-right. Pretty simple. I answer that question by saying memes, unironically memes. And what I mean by this is that the right, the conservatives on YouTube and online in general, generally tend to use memes and edgy humor as a way of getting young people, Zoomers and teens, interested in politics. You see it constantly. You see it from places like 4chan. When you look at it, when you see 4chan boards, it's a bunch of right-wingers and white nationalists and alt-righters, and they're doing memes. Memes are like what they're posting. A lot of their political message is conveyed through memes. Sometimes you get your occasional ranty post, but mostly it's memes. So my whole point was that the left needs to make its own memes and use memes and edgy humor on its own, because something I've noticed a lot about the left as of late is that while I am a fan of political correctness to a degree, I believe sometimes it goes a bit too far, and people on the left feel the need to be too nice when that starts to become a not very effective method of, catching young people now. Being abrasive and edgy and dark tends to attract young people to a side or a political ideology more so than being nice and accepting and, so on and so on. So that was my basic point, that in order to get more young people interested in leftism, or even just being on the left in general, we should utilize what the right does, which is, memes and dark humor. And on top of that, I give an example of a channel that I knew to do the opposite. A right-wing channel that typically uses memes that would draw in young people in order to kind of introduce them to conservative ideas. And one of these channels, or the channel that I specifically mentioned, mind you, this is in a 2-minute long clip from a 4.5-hour long live stream I did, the beginning of which is like 2.5 hours of me making fun of a YouTuber called The Quartering with Fratanga Plays and Appabend, and then me joining that podcast and talking about, well, Memeology 101, as we're about to see, for like 2 minutes. It was like a 2-minute clip, so it's pretty interesting that I even found it. I don't even know how Memeology 101 got his hands on it or discovered it, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, what I said in the stream was that Memeology 101 is clearly a conservative, and that he injects conservative politics into his videos, and that these conservative politics could cause young people who are attracted to a channel called Memeology 101, I mean, look at the fucking name, and that they would likely start to be introduced to right-wing politics and could further be radicalized. Now, something that I left out in my video, or in my, not my video, but in my little clip where I'm talking about Memeology, is that no, I don't think Memeology himself has some sort of agenda to send people down the radicalization rabbit hole of the alt-right, but that there exists a, I want to say, non-artificial pipeline to the alt-right. I've talked about it in the past. Young people sort of having bad ideas normalized to them through jokes and memes and whatnot, to the point where you sort of boil the frog of radicalization. Because if you come up to a random person and you ask them, hey, should we kill all the Jews? They're probably going to say no, right? But if you go to somebody who's young and impressionable and likes dark, edgy humor, and you're like, haha, killed, fucking Holocaust jokes, kill the Jews and whatnot. The idea of killing Jews, while it's still probably, like, bad to them, isn't going to be as repulsive as it was before. And from here, as you start to normalize these ideas and immerse yourself in the, not so much the ideas, but normalize these jokes and immerse yourself in this kind of thought process, from there, people who aren't joking can kind of take the wheel. Introduce ideas that, well, through joking and whatnot, you've already ostracized whatever group. We'll use Jewish people as an example, as an other. And from there, you can start to introduce small amounts of, propaganda, small amounts of arguments that these groups are used. And eventually, you have yourself a far-right radical. It's how these things happened. It's how James Alex Fields, the guy who ran over Heather Heyer at the Unite the Right rally, likely started out. I don't think he was born as an alt-righter who wanted to murder people, and it's the same thing that we know happened to Brenton Tarrant, the Christchurch shooter, who murdered 53 innocent Muslims in a mosque in New Zealand a few months ago. He wrote a manifesto. He cited the Great Replacement, a conspiracy theory spread by Lauren Southern primarily before she quit, and he chock-filled his manifesto with memes from 4chan and whatnot. So it's very clear that through edgy humor and sort of a negative environment, you can boil the frog, so to say, and radicalize someone over time. And my point was that Memeology 101 is a good starting point for that, by, introducing young people to conservative ideas through memes. And that was my point. I probably could have articulated it better. If I was making an actual takedown on Memeology 101, that's what I would have done. I would have added more evidence and whatnot to support my claim, but that wasn't a takedown of Memeology 101. I wasn't making a video on him to get attention, and I wasn't trying to, like, clout chase or anything. This was, like, a clip that you would have to dig for. It's, like, one of the only times I've ever talked about Memeology on stream. But now that I've kind of been forced into it, I will make a video on Memeology, and this is going to be it. This is going to be my explanation for why I made that statement, as well as me debunking a few of the arguments I've heard defending Memeology as well. Sorry, I just hit my mic. I'm sorry if you heard that. So, for starters, a big argument that I see a lot is that it's just all ad hom. I've been getting a lot of people coming into my comments and whatnot after this, and even coming into the stream that I did to debate people who are Memeology fans, to try to get to the bottom of why they continue to defend him, and try to defend my point. And a lot of them just came in to scream the N-word. A lot of them came in to try to get me banned from Twitch and whatnot, and I was like, what? Why is it the majority of people who are coming to defend Memeology, claiming he's not far right, why are they far right? Why are they dropping racist shit in my chat? Why are they talking far right ideas? It just seems strange to me. It's almost like they're proving my point. But obviously the people who I assume would be a minority that come over to my channel, the minority of people that come to shit on me, are probably not representative of the whole of his audience, or the whole of the people who watched that video, but nonetheless, we'll continue. So, besides what his audience was doing, I guess we'll get into my problem with Memeology, and why I think that Memeology is probably conservative to alt-right. He's definitely not a centrist, and he's definitely not a liberal. He argued on Twitter with me that he's a centrist, or that he tries to stay apolitical, and for the most part, from what I've seen, he generally, most videos, does stay apolitical, but regardless, in quite a few of his videos, and some of them being firmly political, when he does dip his toes into politics, it's conservative politics, and it's plain to see for people who know what politics are. He did it with a video he made on Jessica Yaniv, who is a trans woman who happens to be a sexual predator, and basically made the argument, albeit indirectly, but I'll explain that in a second, that Jessica Yaniv and her sexual harassy behavior is indicative of most trans people or LGBT people. This is a very common talking point among conservatives who are anti-LGBT. They claim that LGBT people are sexual deviants or harassers or rapists, so on and so on and so on. It's a huge talking point, and specifically with this Jessica Yaniv story, it has been covered incessantly by right-wingers to try to smear transgender people as freaks, as, like, predators. Now, for those of you guys who are interested in the stats, by the way, believe it or not, transgender people are way less likely, statistically speaking, per capita, to be a sexual predator. It's crazy, but that's the statistics. So it was worrying to me that he used that. I am saving the best for last, by the way. There's more to this. On top of that, he's made quite a few videos recently about the media being liars, and this is kind of a conservative talking point. This idea that the media isn't to be trusted. The idea that the media are trying to slander Donald Trump, for example, and that the media needs to be checked by the government. Now, if you don't know, this is worrying. You don't want the media to be checked by the government. You just don't. It is the media's job to check the government. If there is not a separate from the government agency, or I should say affiliation of some kind, to tell the people what the government is up to, then you're in a fascist state. The idea of the government controlling what is and what isn't fake news, especially when it comes to criticism of the leader of the country or the leader of the government, it's worrying, really. Whether you agree with Donald Trump or not, it's worrying. So when I see this whole fake news kind of idea, it becomes worrying. It worries me, especially from people who I know are conservative. On top of that, he's made quite a few references in the last couple of his videos of Clown World. Clown World starting out as a pretty harmless, funny meme. Overall, it's just sort of a meme talking about how, or it's meant to express that, like, God, shit's so crazy right now. How insane is the world right now? Who would have thought this is where we would be 2 years ago, even? Unfortunately, however, the alt-right has co-opted this meme. It's what they do. The alt-right likes to co-opt symbols and start using them to make them theirs. They steal them, basically. And they did this with the Clown World meme, and they made the Pepe the Frog of, the clown Pepe the Frog, they named him Honkler, an obvious play on Hitler. And they started using it as an alt-right dog whistle, basically to talk about, or to express that, like, wow, things are so crazy, because things are progressing. Like, oh my god, transgender people exist. People can just become a woman, or become a man if they want to. God, we're really living in a clown world. I mean, go to the original video and read the comments. Quite a few of them are, well, yiddle me this, yiddle me that, goyim kind of comments, and people referencing, popular Nazi texts and whatnot. It's pretty clear that the alt-right has co-opted this meme quite thoroughly, and so when I see people using it, especially when, once again, I know they're conservative. So my last point as to why I think Memeology is sort of a beginning to the right-wing rabbit hole, or the alt-right rabbit hole, I should say, is when a while back he announced a collaboration with a few individuals, or a few groups that I think are, well, that I know are pretty fucked. So one of them is Andy Warski. He was going to do a collaboration with Andy Warski, somebody whose new nickname, or not new, I should say, whose nickname on YouTube is Andy Race Warski, as he is a race realist. He believes that there are deep biological differences between white people and black people, for example. He believes this thing called the warrior gene exists, which it doesn't, but it's basically something used by white supremacists to say, hey, black people are inherently prone to violence and crime, so we should deport them or kill them. He believes in that idea, the warrior gene idea, the race realism thing. He believes in this, and it's what a lot of his new stuff's about. I mean, he used to, back in the day, be kind of an okay dude, but the last couple of years have been kind of rough for Andy Warski, since 2017. I think recently he got, like, arrested for his friend, because he and his friend pointed a gun at a guy on the street while IRL streaming. It's not exactly a good dude. Extremely far right. From what I last remember, he calls himself alt-right, and our boy Memeology announced he was going to do a collaboration with him. Got a lot of shit from it in the comments and decided to cancel it to avoid himself getting, shit on. However, a little while after that, a podcast on YouTube called The Kill Stream a place, a podcast run by more race realists and by Holocaust deniers who were banned off YouTube because they are race realists and Holocaust deniers and can't go one stream without dropping as many N-words and, F-slurs, which I will not say in my videos because I don't want to, piss people off, as possible, got banned off YouTube because they were spreading Nazi propaganda. Like, not like, oh, you're an SJW calling everything you dislike a Nazi, but like legitimate Nazi propaganda. They got banned off YouTube, and they needed a platform, they needed a place to stream, and Memeology 101 was like, hey, use my channel to stream from it. One argument I've heard to defend Memeology on this is maybe Memeology didn't know who they were, didn't support them, and just wanted to give a YouTube channel that got deleted a platform. The problem is when you consider everything else that I've brought up to confirm he is indeed at least a conservative, possibly even alt-right, it seems unlikely that he didn't know what the kill stream was, and if he didn't, then it seems kind of strange that he would have offered his entire YouTube channel to be the host and the platform to, host this Nazi podcast, this race realist and Holocaust denier podcast. So these are some of the quite a few reasons why I believe that he's probably alt-right, and why, or at least very far right, and why I think that his videos can be used to at least start radicalizing someone to the far right. That's why I made that statement. Now, I've also gotten a lot of people telling me, oh, he's Honduran, he's Hispanic, he's not interested in American politics. Also, he's not white. How can he be alt-right? You have to be white to be alt-right, right? No, actually. I don't think your race or your ethnicity or your origin really determines or blocks what ideology you can have or can't have. There are plenty of non-white people who are alt-righters or white supremacists. Take Jesse Lee Peterson here as an example. This guy literally has built a career on saying that black people as a group, as a race, are corrupted by the devil, and that white people are pure, and that Donald Trump is the great white hope who will hopefully come and make America more white so that America will be more pure, and that there needs to be more beautiful white babies, as he's said quite a few times. He's a white supremacist. He claims that white supremacism, sexism, and racism aren't real, they don't exist, and they never have. So he's kind of a crackpot, but these people exist. People who believe fucked up shit that goes against their very identity. There are racist black people, there are white supremacist black people, there are white supremacist people of color. On that note, I've also gotten a few... I'm not even sure if this is a legitimate criticism. I almost want to say it's a troll, just because of how crazy it is. I've had people claim that my reason for criticizing Memeology was because he is not white, and I'm a white person who's jealous of his success. This argument doesn't hold any water, because if you look at my channel, I'm a leftist. I have dedicated myself to validating groups of people who are marginalized in society. I try to validate trans people and people of color and people from other countries who aren't white that alt-righters want to keep out so they can form white ethno-states and shit. That's what I focus my channel on, fighting bigotry. So the idea that I'm the true bigot for calling out bigotry in a person who's not white is, I almost want to say, a complete troll. But if you genuinely believe this, then, well, hopefully this confirms for you that that's not the case. That's not my intent, and it's not even my outcome. I didn't make this video. I didn't make my statement a few days ago to try to bring Memeology down. It was a very casual conversation with friends in a random podcast that had like 190 viewers on my end and like 25 on the other people's ends. So it's like, I don't know what to say. It wasn't like trying to take them down or anything. But finally, I want to acknowledge what has been the most prevalent talking point, or I should say meme, I've heard from, Memeology fans who've come over to try to criticize me, and that is that I'm a cuck, and that my girlfriend dumped me for another guy. Now, if you're wondering where this comes from, it's from this screenshot right here. that's been passing around a lot. Now, this screenshot is from an announcement I posted in my fan Discord back in May in regards to me and my ex-girlfriend's breakup. And technically, it's not exactly accurate. I wasn't cheated on by most people's standards. I should clarify that my definition of cheating is a little bit different than most people's. I'll admit that I have kind of a personality flaw in that I get jealous easily. I consider if the person that I'm with is even somewhat interested in another person, even if it's like an actor on TV, I get pretty jealous of it, you know? And maybe this is a bad thing. Now, granted, I don't like start anything with it. I don't like get into a fight with my girlfriend over it. I don't bring it up. I wouldn't dump my girlfriend over it, but it's just sort of a character flaw that I have, and I don't really like it, but it's just there. There's more context to this that you guys don't know, especially if you're new coming in my channel. So basically what happened was I started dating this girl, who I will not name, in my first year out of high school. I was 18 years old when we started dating, and I just turned 20, like literally a couple days ago. And at the time, I had a YouTube channel, but it wasn't really big. I had like 200 subscribers, maybe 300, and I was doing like Fortnite and Minecraft gameplays. It was nothing big. I wasn't making money off of YouTube, and it just wasn't anything significant. However, when I found what I wanted to do with my channel, politics, I blew up. I went from being a nobody to being a somebody, and it got to the point where I was getting serious revenue from YouTube, to the point where YouTube could become my full-time job, but only if I put all of my effort into it. And so, in doing this, in dedicating myself to making content every day, whether it be a live stream or a video, or even a live stream and a video in the same day, I found myself putting so much work into my channel that I was neglecting my girlfriend. I would go days without messaging her back. I would go weeks without seeing her. But I knew she was upset. I knew she wanted to spend time with me, but I was so focused on what I perceived and still do perceive to be more important than a, high school relationship. I saw and still see my YouTube channel as a potential career, and I decided that it is probably best that at this stage in my life I remain single in order to focus on things that I deemed as being more important, and I saw this as being the more mature choice. So not only was I kind of jealous that I knew she was talking to other people, she wasn't fucking anybody, she wasn't kissing them, she wasn't going on dates with them, but I knew she was interested in other people. I knew there were friends and coworkers she had that were interested in her. I didn't know if she was interested in them, but it was enough that I was jealous, and I figured, you know what? She probably wants to talk to other people. I want to focus more on my YouTube channel. How about we mutually end this relationship, and we stay on good terms, and I stay single for the next couple years while I get my YouTube channel to the point where I'm making very good money off of it. I'm able to self-sustain from it more so than I am now, and not have to grind so much to grow. And so that I can put it to the side a bit more later on in my life and focus on other things such as dating. And so that's what I did. Actually, as far as I'm aware, it's been since May. She hasn't gotten with anybody yet. She's not dating anybody. I haven't dated anybody. So I guess she wasn't really interested in anybody in hindsight. But basically, I mean, she didn't cheat on me by most people's standards, so the criticism that I'm a cuck doesn't really work. It's just not accurate. So if that's the criticism you're levying at me, it's not really bothering me because it's just not true. It's just not. But I would like to acknowledge that when cuck and soy boy are the criticism that I'm getting from a lot of you guys, or a lot of you Memeology fans, I should say, it kind of proves my point that a lot of you are conservative. You guys are right-wing. You guys hate liberals. You guys hate people on the left. You guys hate leftists. So it kind of, it kind of validates my criticism that our boy Memeology 101 is cultivating a right-wing audience. I just like to throw that out there, But either way, even if I was actually being cheated on and I had been cucked, this isn't a good criticism at all. It kind of fucks up your entire argument when your only criticism of me, especially this was the only criticism at the end of Memeology 101's video, is an ad hom. Nothing to actually defend yourself or to attack my claim, just an ad hom. Like that would be an attack of my character. Mind you, even if this was true, this wouldn't be a good ad hom in the first place. How is an attack on somebody's character supposed to be you showing evidence of them being a victim? People who've been cheated on are victims of infidelity from the other person's side. It's the other person's fault. I mean, I don't see how that's like an insult towards somebody. It's like insulting someone for being raped or something. And not on the same level, obviously. I'm not trying to say getting cheated on and being raped are on the same level, but comparable in the sense that both individuals would be victims, and you're just kind of making fun of them for something out of their control that isn't their fault, and that is the fault of someone else who did a bad thing to them. So, while it doesn't really bother me, because it didn't happen to me, I have been cheated on before, don't get me wrong. Everyone's been cheated on before, unless you've never been in a relationship before. I'd say most people have been cheated on, to some extent, depending on your definition of cheated. Everyone's been cheated on. But, no, in that case, I was not. But yeah, I mean, basically, that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to clear up some of the stuff that was going on around this drama with Memeology. Honestly, I would like to debate Memeology. I'd love to have Memeology 101 on stream and to like have a one-on-one debate just to kind of work through all this and come to the truth of things. Because at the end of the day, I can only come to the conclusion that I came to through the evidence of what I'd seen and what I proposed to you today. And I felt like it was evidence strong enough to make my claim. And so if you disagree with it, or again, you're a Memeology fan, come join the fan Discord down in the description, and you can debate me on stream. I'll be happy to do it. And if you're Memeology 101 yourself, and you're watching this, I would love to have you on stream to debate me. I don't know how you found that video, or that clip of me saying that, but I promise you, if I wanted to make a big takedown of you, like to take down your character and to defame you or whatever, I would have put a lot more effort into it than just like a 2-minute long clip from a 4.5-hour live stream that had nothing to do with you in terms of like the metadata, in terms of the title and the description and the tags and everything. It wasn't like an attack on you, but GG on finding it, I guess. I don't know what to say, but yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, because I know it's gonna get dislike bombed. Leave a comment if you have any constructive criticisms, preferably. If you're just gonna go in the comments and comment the N-word or some other shit like that, I'm just gonna ban you from commenting on the channel, and you'll have just given me a free view and a free couple of interactions, which will just boost my videos in the algorithm. You know, dislikes count as interaction. That does well for my video. Negative comments count as interaction for the algorithm, which does positive stuff for my video. Like, I don't know what to say. You're benefiting me if you do that. But that's going to be it for me today, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Follow my Twitch. I have a new Twitch I just started. The link is in the description down below. Please follow it. I'm going to be triple streaming to YouTube, Twitch, and DLive all at the same time from now on. I've already reached affiliate on Twitch, but I'm not actually activating it. I'm not actually going to claim my affiliate link, nor am I or my affiliate rank. Nor will I claim my verified rank or my partner rank whenever I get it, because if I do, then I'm not allowed to stream on YouTube or DLive or anything without getting banned, because you actually have like they make you sign an exclusivity clause, and I don't want to do that. I want to be able to stream on these platforms all at once, so sadly, chances are you'll never see my stream or my Twitch with that beautiful purple check mark next to it. It sucks, but that's where we are now, but please do subscribe to my DLive and my Twitch in the description down below. If you want to talk to me or other fans directly, go ahead and click on the Discord link down below. And if you want to keep up on track of like what I say and what I'm doing when I'm not streaming, you can follow me on Twitter, and the link to that is also in the description down below. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. That's going to be all for me today, guys. Pig Puncher, out.